Today's video is going to be an AI-generated beginner's calisthenic workout. You guys know AI has been huge over the last couple of years. But today we're going to be testing out how well it can be used for fitness. So let's get ready to go to the gym and give it a try. All right, we just got to the gym. We're about to run through this workout. We're starting off with a warm-up. So this is going to be 5 to 10 minutes. What they specifically say is a 5 to 10 minute warm-up of light cardio, jumping jacks, jogging in place, high knees, etc. And then some dynamic stretching, arm circles, leg swings, hip circles, etc. So we're going to do that first. So we're going to follow exactly what AI says for this video. Typically for me, what I would do is I would do like specific stretches, and I usually do an incline walk for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then I warm up specific areas and areas that my body needs. But because we're doing this workout, we're gonna follow it exactly. So we're doing some high knees right now. So I've never done this. I don't do this as a warm-up. Also, check out my Vivos. These are my new shoes that I've been training in. For those of you who don't know, they're like the barefoot shoes. So basically, they're simulating like working out in like your bare feet, but obviously you're not. So they actually are my preferred workout shoe, specifically for leg days. All right, a little out of breath after that warm up because I don't actually do high knees pretty much ever in my life, but it was good. We're gonna do our first exercise, which is gonna be a bodyweight squat. They have it in the program as just being like more of a quad dominant one. So we are gonna have feet parallel, slightly wider than our hips, aiming to go ass to grass, so as low as you can, and standing back up. It's just gonna be 3 sets of 8 to 10. So first set, I'm gonna give you exactly how it is for the AI. Then the other 2, I'm gonna give you variations if you need to regress it or progress it. So first set of 8 to 10, we'll go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quick little break. They actually don't put any rest in this workout, which I find a little weird. So that's gonna be going into my rating at the end. We'll give ourselves roughly around 30, 45 seconds just because it is more beginner and everything's body weight. All right, now for the regressions for this, we're gonna do heel elevated. So these are just like little wedges. If you don't have these, you can just use a dumbbell or like even like an elevated like surface of any type, like a squat rack, whichever it is. We are gonna use these to elevate our heels, and this is gonna make it easier for you guys who need to just regress the squats a little bit. This basically allows for our range of motion to still be as good as it was if it's flat, but those of you who are struggling with ankle mobility, this basically solves that problem. So we're gonna go for another set of 8 to 10. And final set, we're gonna do it with a weighted bar. So I know this is a beginner workout. However, beginners still are able to use weights and stuff like that. Obviously for calisthenics, weighted calisthenics would come later in your like life journey of calisthenics. But fun fact, weighted calisthenics is actually a whole category within competing. It's called street lifting. So a lot of calisthenic athletes actually do have to have like a really heavy weighted squat. So this is why it's a great calisthenics movement for a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Under the bar, I'm gonna step out. And same form as my first one with body weight, just now we have a bar on our back. It's gonna be a high bar squat as well. Okay, first exercise done. Not gonna lie, I'm a little out of breath. Not having the rest really makes me feel like I need to rush through this workout a little bit. Next, we have my all-time favorite calisthenic movement, push-ups. Push-ups is an element in competing that's both endurance-based. I think it's actually only endurance-based because there is no weighted push-ups for competing. So this is actually the category that I specialize in the exercise. So push-ups for endurance, it's usually like as many as you can do. So if you're a beginner and you're training them, this AI workout has us doing 3 sets of 8 to 10. So some tips for your push-up. I always like to start at the bottom, especially if you're a beginner. You're gonna start at the bottom of your push-up. So you want to have your thumbs just outside of your armpits. You wanna make sure that you squeeze your glutes and your core right before you start. Toes driven into the ground. We'll take a deep breath in and then breathe out on the way up. We're gonna go for 8 to 10. Second set of push-ups, just like the squats, we're gonna show you a regression. So this is going to be an incline push-up. I like this variation better than say going from your knees, only because it keeps your body actually straight, whereas when you're in a bent knee push-up, like from your knees, you actually kind of piking your hips a little bit, and it doesn't translate your progression as well to when you wanna get your full push-up. So this one, hands just slightly wider than our chest. We can start from the bottom, just get our grip and push up nice and strong. Always when you're doing this one, have it set right to the edge of the squat rack. If you're out here and you go to push forward, no good. So we're gonna go for 8 to 10. All right, so far this workout's doing pretty well. We've done our legs and our chest, and I know further in the workout we have more of our body parts. So in terms of a calisthenic workout right now, it's good for beginners. I like it. Next, we're gonna be doing a progression for push-ups. So for those of us who have a nice strong push-up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same rep range. We're gonna add a little bit of tempo, make it a little spicy right at the bottom. So we're gonna hold at the bottom 1 second and then push right back up. So I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, go down, 1 second pause, shoot it back up. Down, pause, back up. third exercise is going to be our bodyweight rows. This can also be an assisted pull-up. For our first set, I am gonna do bodyweight rows, then show a regression of a different type of bodyweight rows, and then we'll take it up to the bar for the progression of a assisted pull-up. So under the bar, again, same thing. It's pretty much the same all the way throughout the workout. It's just 3 by 8 to 10. So there's not too much range of variability here. We're gonna hook our thumbs slightly wider than our chest, go underneath the bar. Legs are gonna be straight, dig our heels into the floor, nice straight body, pull up, and then down for 8 to 10. Regression for a bodyweight row, we're gonna bend our knees, and that's gonna help us get a little bit more stability. And we can start using like our hamstrings and our glutes to help us on the way up. So that way our sternum, the top of your sternum hits right to the bar. So same positioning with our hands, sliding under. I'm gonna keep my heels closer to my bum, and I'm gonna lift it from here, nice flat tabletop. And then I'll be able to row nice and easy, right to the top. To progress this one, we're gonna do an assisted pull-up. So there's different ways to do this. If you guys wanna see, I did like a crash course pull-up video earlier on my YouTube channel. I'll link it up above. But today we're gonna be using the machine. So for calisthenics, I know in bodybuilding it's different. In calisthenics, we do want that hook grip with our thumb always. Hips right underneath us, squeezing our glutes. Next, we have stationary lunges. However, it does say step forward with our legs, so I feel like that goes against being stationary, but we're gonna look past it. This is gonna be 3 sets of 10 to 12, so we have some variation right now. That's pretty exciting. So starting off with a lunge, if it's stationary for me, I set myself up. I'm gonna have a 90-degree angle in both of my legs. This leg is almost like a kickstand, so it's really just there for balance, heading straight down and straight up. They didn't specify it's supposed to be all one leg or alternating. I'm gonna say just to beginner's sake, just so we're not having too much movement, we're gonna go just for one leg and then switch to the other side. Hand positioning for this one, you'll see my first couple reps I had them in front of me, back ones I had them behind me. Honestly, for me, it's whatever's comfortable. You can have them here, you can have them here, wherever you want. Obviously, when you start holding weight, that's when you have to be a little bit more particular about it because you're loading now. But for just body weight, anywhere where you can feel like the best balance / focus is where you want your hands. It's like classic old man walking pose with your hands. It's just more comfortable. A regression for stationary lunges, we're gonna actually just use a little bit of assistance. So if you're someone who does struggle with balance, we can use a barbell or you can use a TRX, rings, whichever you have, just to give yourself a little bit of support so that way you're not worrying about that balance component. So same thing applies here. Our hands are gonna be in front of us, going down and all the way up. Biggest thing about this, if it is assisted and you are a beginner and say like your legs are starting to get a little more tired, you can actually use the bar and like help push yourself back up. So that's why it's a good regression for someone who's just starting their fitness journey into calisthenics. All right, for lunges, the progression is gonna be a pulse. So it's similar to a hold, but this time it's gonna be almost like doing a little bit of a half rep in between. So we're gonna go all the way down, small pulse, reset, come all the way back up. Pulse, back up. This just allows for more time under tension, and you're actually getting a little bit more like pump in your quads as you're doing it as well. I personally love doing these during my lower body days. They're hard, but they're worth it. Oh, okay, this is a good workout. I'm like kind of sweaty. I'm a little sweaty right now. Next, what we got? Ooh, a plank. Not gonna lie, I haven't done a plank in like years. It's going to be 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds. We're gonna hold it on our elbows. There should be a straight line from my head to my heels. Those are their instructions. Plank, 20, 30 seconds. They do mention something that's super important with plank. A lot of people hold their plank too far back, so they'll actually hold it like way back here, or they're gonna hold it too far forward. You want it so that way your shoulder is stacked directly over your elbow. Core nice and tight, and like you said, you don't wanna tuck your head under or have it poking up because then it's not a straight line from your head to your bum. And we're just gonna hold here 20, 30 seconds. This is the hardest part of this beginner workout because I don't plank like ever. All right, that's good. 20 seconds. 20 seconds is plenty for a beginner and for me. A modified plank will be from our knees, and then we're gonna do a progression of it as well, but I have one more plank to do before that. This one should be easier. All right, so for the knee one, we're just gonna make sure our pelvis is tucked and we're still stacked over our elbows, and we're just gonna hold here for 20 to 30 seconds. Big key thing with plank is you wanna make sure that your belly button is actually like tucked in and like thinking of like pulling it up in between your rib cage, and that's gonna engage your lower core muscles a lot better and make it a little bit more difficult to hold. As I say that, as I'm like literally sweating right now. All right, 15 kilograms, which is really 30 pounds for our weighted plank. Because I'm by myself, typically if you have a partner, you can just have them place it on your back. Because I'm by myself, we're gonna put it on our overhead. We're gonna shimmy it down like this. Have it kind of resting like almost on the small of your back and like the back of your head, just until you get some balance. Move our ponytail. We're gonna go into our elbows first, kick out into your plank, and then hold. Oh my gosh, I regret this immediately. This is definitely a progression. This is not for beginners. We're not gonna dump it to our side because that's where you can like smush your hand. We're gonna go into like a little fetal position, hold it here, let it slide down our back. Don't hit your toes, bring it around your side, and then you're all done. I know a lot of people just like to dump it to the side, but you've seen videos of people doing gym fails like that and the weight will literally fall in their hand and they're gonna break their fingers, which for calisthenic athletes, we don't wanna do that. Now we're doing our second core exercise, which is gonna be bicycle crunches. So that is gonna be 3 sets like everything else, and it's gonna be, oh, I lied to you. We're doing dips first. That's a weird order, but okay, we're doing dips, I lied. 3 by 10, 8 to 10. So we're gonna go grab a bench. We're doing a bench dip. So first we're gonna set up, fingertips facing forward. We're basically gonna be like in like a little seated position, feet go out straight like this, and then you're gonna end up in a perfectly 90-degree position. We're gonna bend our elbows, come down, and come back up. Major things here, we don't wanna like let our shoulders like cave in because that's gonna pinch one of your ligaments and nerves all in your shoulders. It doesn't feel very good. Keeping a nice proud chest going up and down. I'm sweating right now. I'm glowing. All right, so for the regression for this one, it's gonna look pretty similar to the first one we did. However, you're gonna use your leg muscles a little bit more. So if you find that this is hard for you, what you're gonna do is when you get down to the bottom, you're actually gonna think of like almost like pushing yourself up with your legs to help assist with your arms. That way it's not just all the weight in your upper body. So you're gonna probably split it around 50-50, and that's gonna make it feel a lot easier. Same form throughout the entire thing, but now we just have a little bit of a self spot. To progress this one, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're not gonna bend our knees. So that means there's less pressure into our legs. So say the first one we did was maybe like 25% in our legs, and then the second one we did was 50-50. This one is gonna be like 10% in our legs. So we're gonna have our legs just stay straight. Just our heels on the ground, dip down, and dip back up. This one's also a little bit more advanced because it also requires a little more hamstring mobility. So if you're tight in your legs, you'll find at the very bottom when you're kind of compressing, a little bit of tightness. Okay, my triceps are done. Okay. Ah, they burn. Now we have bicycle crunches, 3 sets of 10 to 15 per side. We're gonna lie on our back, lift your shoulders off the ground, and bring your right elbow towards your left knee, and while straightening your right leg. Alternating sides in a pedaling motion. Pretty accurate description of a bicycle crunch. I'll give them that. So on our back, hands behind our head. With our hands behind our head, we're not like crunching our chin into our chest. We're still keeping a neutral spine. We're gonna go elbow, 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 elbow. That's a cute angle for sure. To progress this exercise, you'll notice that when I did them the first time, both my legs were off the ground. For a regression, would leave them on the ground like this. That just allows our core to relax a little bit more and make the exercise a little bit easier. All right, to progress this one, we're gonna go back to what we did with the push-ups. We're gonna do a tempo hold. So as we turn, we're gonna hold 1, 2, switch, 1, 2, switch, 1, 2. Overall verdict of this workout, I give it a solid like 8.5 out of 10. I really like this workout. I think it hits all of our muscle groups. Everything is pretty basic. The only critique I had was the timing of how to rest, and if I scroll to the bottom of my note, there it is. There's the timing to rest. I think in terms of like overall visual of how AI does their programming, if they could actually just put it more so at the beginning, for all of us who like to see it right at the top, that'd be easier. I would say in terms of like overall instructions, I think it makes it pretty easy to understand. So this is just proof that like as much as we're all like, oh my God, spooky AI, it actually does come in handy a lot, especially for things like if you just want to start getting into working out, you can literally make up a workout with AI doing it for you, and you can just go to the gym and like literally do this workout anywhere. And that's the beauty about calisthenics, which is what I really love about it, is you don't need gym equipment. You can do it in your home, you can do it at your office, like whatever it is, you can get in a quick workout. I think this workout in total, which is what I really liked about it too, is for a beginner, it took like maybe 25 minutes. So it's nice and quick, it gets you to the point, and you get a little bit of a sweat on, which is really nice. So overall, really happy with it, and I think you guys should give it a try. And if you do, comment below and let me know how it goes.